They say, on certain moonless nights, when the wind sighs through the valley of Nyamiko, a woman's voice can still be heard whispering your name. They call her the bride who spoke to shadows. The elders warn, when you love in deceit, the spirits will collect their debt. This is her story. Long ago, in the quiet village of Nyamiko, where the hills touched the clouds, lived a young woman named Adissa. She was gentle, radiant, and loved by all. When she smiled, the old forgot their pain, and the children laughed a little louder. So, when her marriage to Kwaku, the blacksmith's son, was announced, the whole village rejoiced. The night before the wedding, drums rolled like thunder. Men danced until the ground trembled, and women clapped with a joy that seemed to shake the very stars. The moon shone bright over Adissa in her crimson wrapper, her wrists jingling with beads of promise. But as the celebration deepened, a strange wind crept through the village, cold, sharp, and silent. It wasn't the kind of wind that rattles leaves. It was the kind that quiets them, a wind that carried a chilling stillness with it. When the drums finally stopped, Adissa's mother searched the dance ground, her heart beginning to flutter with a nameless fear. Her daughter was nowhere to be found. "Adissa," she cried, her voice cracking in the sudden silence. "My child, where are you?" Only the echo of her own panic answered. Then someone noticed her footprints, small, bare, leading away from the celebration and toward the forest of Odom, a place no one, not even the bravest hunter, dared to enter after dark. The spirits walk there at night, an elder whispered, his voice trembling. If she has gone in, she belongs to them now. But Kwaku's heart refused to listen to whispers of fear. With a torch in hand and a courage fueled by love burning in his chest, he stepped into the forest, his voice a soft, desperate call against the darkness. "Adissa, my love, where are you?" The trees closed around him like giant, skeletal fingers. Mist swirled between the gnarled roots, cold and damp against his skin. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of a leaf, echoed in the profound silence. It felt as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Then, through the thick fog, he heard it, a soft voice, like a melody carried on the wind. It was Adissa's voice, whispering, "Kwaku, come. I am here." He froze, his blood turning to ice. The voice was calm, sweet, impossibly so, but it seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. "Adissa," he called again, his own voice tight with a rising dread. "Where are you?" The voice grew clearer, closer, pulling him deeper into the woods. "Follow the song, my love." And faintly, he heard her humming, the very wedding song from the night before. He followed the haunting tune until he reached a clearing. There, under an ancient, sprawling silk cotton tree, stood Adissa. Her wedding cloth glowed with a faint, otherworldly light, and her eyes reflected the flickering flame of his torch. But she was not standing on the ground. She was floating, just inches above the earth, her feet swaying gently in the dead air. "Adissa, what happened to you?" Kwaku stammered, his voice trembling, his courage finally failing him. Her expression was one of infinite sadness. "The spirits took me," she said softly. "They are angry. The dowry your father brought for our marriage, the gold and coral, it was cursed. It was stolen from their sacred shrine." Kwaku's mind reeled. "No, my father would never. The spirits see all." Adissa interrupted, her voice firm. "They have claimed me as payment for the theft." As she spoke, her eyes flickered with a strange blue fire. Around the roots of the tree, shadows began to move, twisting and coalescing into vague, menacing shapes, chanting in a low, sibilant whisper. "Return what was taken, return what was taken. Then take me instead." Kwaku pleaded, his heart breaking. "Leave her be." Adissa offered a sad, ethereal smile. "Love cannot pay a spirit's debt, Kwaku. Only truth can." Suddenly, her hand, now almost translucent, pointed toward his neck, at the golden ring meant for her finger, which he wore on a cord. Her voice, once soft, now held a chilling command. "Cast away the gold. Break the vow that bound lies to our love." Without a second thought, Kwaku tore the golden ring from his neck and flung it with all his might into the darkness. The moment it left his hand, the ground shook violently. The torch blew out, plunging him into absolute blackness. A scream, not human, not animal, but something ancient and agonizing, rose from deep beneath the earth. Flashes of blinding light shot through the forest as the spirits swirled around him like smoke in a hurricane, screaming and weeping as they were pulled, one by one, back into the roots of the silk cotton tree. When the terrifying silence finally returned, Kwaku collapsed, his strength gone. As the first rays of dawn broke through the canopy, villagers found him lying beneath the great tree, pale and trembling. In his hands, he clutched Adissa's red wedding cloth, the only sign she had ever existed. The cursed gold was never found again. Years passed. The village of Nyamiko learned to live with the void Adissa left behind. No one ever entered Odum Forest after dark again. But sometimes, when the wind sighs through the mango trees, the villagers swear they can hear her laughter, soft, distant, and bittersweet, echoing through the hills. The elders say, love built on deceit cannot live in the light. And so, they tell the tale of Adissa, the bride who spoke to shadows. Remember this, child of Nyamiko. Never take what is not freely given, for even love cannot buy peace from the spirits. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tales from the shadows. Stay curious and stay safe.